Twitch land, streaming land. While I go over some normal mapping and bump mapping stuff. Yeah, let's do that. Do it on something kind of interesting because I get bored easily, you know. So I gotta keep my life a little interesting because otherwise, it's just boring. We want to do some interesting stuff. I mean, I think you guys can understand where I'm coming from. Maybe, I don't know. Maybe not. So yeah, what can we do to make this kind of exciting? Let's do some end cloth. Oh no, I know that's not maybe what you wanted to hear right now. Probably not. When you are making cloth, like say this is a piece of cloth, it's nice to always have your UVs done first. No, not nice. You should absolutely.
Right.
Yeah. What? Hello? Somebody's talking. UVs. Are UVs done? Of course they're done because it's a primitive. So if it's a primitive, the UVs should be done for you. Yeah, that's good. Got UVs. Okay. Just as long as I have UVs, that's all that's important. That's what I'm caring about right now is making sure I have UVs on my.
Can anyone else hear him in?
Oh no, am I not being?
Or I can't hear him in Twitch.
Uh-oh. My OBS is on.
Yeah,
You guys hear me?
Yeah, I can hear him too.
Yeah, I hear him.
Yeah,
Okay.
it's working, I think. So,
I can hear him now.
yeah, sorry. Okay, so we might want more polygons here, by the way, guys, and this is something you have to decide. It's arbitrary. We want enough polygons. I'll go to 30. We want enough polygons for the cloth to look good. So if we don't have enough, it won't look good, obviously. But I got to speed this up. I got to move fast because we don't have all the time in the world here. A little bit of review. Go to the effects shelf. We click the t-shirt icon, or, if you want to go to the effects module, go to end cloth. I don't care. Create end cloth. It's all the same thing. Now this is a cloth object. If I hit play right now, it's going to drop forever with gravity. Oh God, there it goes. So let me rewind. And I want it to collide with the sphere a little bit, right? So select the end cloth node, shift select the sphere. This is the make collision object. This is review, so hopefully this is nothing new to you, but there it is, make passive collider. So now when I hit play, I should see that I get this cool effect, right? But also it's like sliding off the sphere. Oh my God. I don't know. What can we do? Well, there are a few things. One thing, we could take the sphere, we could select it, and we could use this awesome interactive playback. I'm a big fan of this guy. It's like a play button with bubbles around it. It's kind of a nice playful icon. Because look, if I go to W for move, and you got to be quick here, by the way. This is like something you got to be a little fast. You can't be slow with this. So you got to be fast. So if I click on the interactive playback, boom, fast, and I push, like that, then I can actually throw my cloth around, which is kind of fun, I don't know. I like interactive playback. I think that stuff's really fun because, you could just continue all day long with your interactive playback. Click that play button and then just push the cloth around with your collision object. And if you have a fast computer, then all day long you could do this and have fun and make cloth that way. I think that's fun. Whatever. I'm crazy. Another option is to hang your cloth from a hook or something. Like maybe we want to hang the cloth from a corner. So another option would be to select some vertices, hit the F9 button, and select some vertices that would represent where you want to hang the cloth from. And then you could go to end constraint. You could say transform constraint. Click that. Those points turn green. And now let's see what happens. Now, what's this now? What are we doing now with this? Well, now not only will it collide with the sphere, of course, because that's still a collision object, but also it'll hang from those points as well. Woo, cloth simulation. Anybody know why Industrial Light and Magic switched to Maya instead of Softimage? A little bit of a 3D history for you guys. Nobody knows. Way back when Star Wars got rebooted, I feel like. Nobody knows. Of course nobody knows. The answer is because Maya at the time had a physics engine. Softimage did not. So yes, Industrial Light and Magic was like, we need physics. We need good physics. We're making Star Wars over here, guys. So yeah, they kind of jumped ship to Maya, where they had previously been a Softimage house. I mentioned this because I started learning 3D on Softimage, and way back when in 19, I'm not going to say, but it was when I was an undergrad at VCU. So yeah, we had Softimage back then. All right, you're like, this is supposed to be about normal mapping. What did you just force me to? Whatever, let's do some normal mapping. So now in Hypershade, let's make the AI standard surface. Right? We go to Arnold. We go to Shader in Arnold. Arnold surface shader. Yes, AI standard surface. We were doing that velvet thing earlier. I like velvet. Just to be ensconced in velvet. That's the way I want to live the rest of my life. It's crushed velvet. I'm just gonna wear crushed velvet everywhere. Be like a pimp like that, you know. I like velvet. I think it's great. Should we make some red velvet? Maybe. I don't know. Okay, so we got velvet. Cool. What does that look like on my cloth? We got a velvet thing happening here. You know. Cool. But it's got no bump, so again, it's kind of boring. Now, previously, I just put some noise in my bump, and I think that's really good if you want to kind of make fluffy velvet. You can totally do that. But since we want to do something a little bit fancier for this demo than just a simple noise thing, go to textures.com. I'm a big fan of the 3D scan material or PBR materials. Either one. I think either of these, this has the best stuff in it here. So if I were to go into my PBR material under fabric, do I have anything cool under fabric? Maybe. I don't know. Let's find out. What do we have? Knitted fabric here. That looks pretty cool. So I'm looking at the bump, right? And I'm like, there's denim. Denim? Ooh, felt. But note at what, note, like, see what the bump, oh, carpet. I'm gonna go with carpet. I like this. See, so we really get this bumpiness. It looks really nice, you know? So we can either use a black and white map if we're like using old school bump. No. That's so like 10 years ago. Let's be cool and use the normal map because we're cool kids and we like our normal maps. So download the normal map because that's really what we're after here. Fabric, normal map. I'm so lazy I'm putting it on my desktop. Don't do that. Don't put it on your desktop. Put it in your project folder. Don't say it. Do as I say, not as I do. This is a demo. Come on. Oh, what? Was I putting it in color? Already screwed up. Man, not a good day for me. We're not putting it in color. We're putting it in, what? Putting it in geometry. Geometry bump mapping. So now connect our... Hello? Yes. Connect our map. We want to switch this to tangent space normal, please. So this default is our old black and white bump. Not so great. Our cool new tangent space normal map. This is what we want. We go there, and then we plug it in. Yes. Everyone with me? Okay, now I have this normal map, and yes, it should totally be... Stop yelling at me. Yes, of course, I know it should be in the project folder, in the textures folder, and yes, I know, I'm being lazy. Shut up. Okay, I got it. Whatever. So, now, what does it look like? Well, we need a light in here. So we'll go to the Arnold shelf, we'll make a sky dome, or we could have just as well made a sun and sky system. That would have been fine. We could go either way. But, you know, I like to always make things difficult. I mean, make things look nice. I mean, HDR is the best. The best. Use your HDR. It's the best. I'm telling you. You want that perfect fill light from your sunrise? Use your HDR. It's going to give you the best results, I promise. Cool. I'm on the beach with a velvet blanket or something. How does it look? I don't know. Let's find out. Uh-oh. Rendar. Rendar. Oh, there we go. So that's it. Now we're getting this nice sort of bump from the normal map. And it's looking pretty good. The sheen feels a little bit weird because it's like a purple sheen. You know? So that feels a little odd. I would probably change the sheen to be some other kind of red versus purple, because boy, that definitely feels weird. And because, of course, everything takes time, I would want to use render region. So let's stop this by hitting the stop button. Use the nice render region. This is this blue box here. Like that. And then before I hit the play button again, let's actually make some changes to the material. Specifically, no, not this. Go away, not you. Go back. No, not you. That's the UV window. There you go, hypershade. So go back to the hypershade, go back to the AI standard surface, which we should rename at this point. I don't know, carpet or something, rug, whatever. Just name it. Name everything all the time. And we don't want this weird purple sheen. No, it's a red thing, so let's make it light red. Makes more sense. No. I mean, the sheen is kind of what catches the light. So logically, you'd want to make it kind of light red or pink. And, you know, at this point, you could start to mess with the normal mapping more if you wanted to. So you could feed in a different normal map, for example. But hey, that's starting to look pretty good. Should we pick a different normal map? I feel like maybe it's not a bad idea. But that's not bad. It's coming along. It's starting to look nice. If we zoom in there a little bit. Yeah, it's coming along. 8% rendering. Oh my god. Inching along slowly. But there it goes. You know? So we could tile it. That would be one thing we could do. And if we tiled it, then that would, you know, make this bump be a little bit noisier, for example. Unfortunately, there's no way to increase the intensity of the normal map unless you do it in Photoshop or crush the levels in Photoshop. It's kind of hacky, but you can do it that way. The problem here in the bump node, there's my bump node, is that this bump depth does nothing. It's so frustrating, right? It's like, what? What the hell? Why? Why can't you be like 3D Studio Max and actually like have lighting that makes sense, or displacement mapping that makes sense, or even your normal mapping has a slider that actually works? And okay, I'm gonna stop bitching because I know you guys are sick and tired of me bitching about Mental Ray versus Arnold or 3D Studio Max versus Maya. Like, we have no idea what I'm talking about, so just shut up about it because we don't know what you're talking about. That's fair. It's true. You can take your height map here, and you could download the height map. This is also your color map. Technically, you can use your height map as a bump. I don't think it works as well as your normal at all. In fact, I would say it's just not anywhere near as accurate. But for the sake of argument, let's just try it out. Let's see the difference, right? So this is my normal map here. I can snapshot it in the bottom right-hand corner. That gives me a snapshot that's stored that image. Now, if we take this black and white image, we could replace the normal map with a black and white image. Yeah, I know it's bad because this is better. Normal map's always better. Always. But just for argument's sake, let's try the black and white image and let's see what it looks like by comparison. So now we're going to change things up. We're going to now change this bump node to, instead of tangent space normals, it's just the old school black and white bump. I know, it's boring, it's crappy, it sucks, but I'm just showing you both ways. I'm showing you both options. So we'll go to the height map, which technically is a displacement map, but it's a black and white image, so then that works as a bump. So then sure, now we have a black and white bump instead. Why did I do that? That seems dumb. Well, look at the difference. Now we can compare and contrast. I personally, for my money, always go with normal maps. Always, forever and ever, amen. But, if you're one of those people that's like, hey, it's got some distance from the camera and you can't really tell anyway, it's far enough away from the camera, it's not like the camera's right up close on this, then I guess you can use an old school black and white bump. And what's the advantage of that? Well, the advantage of that is now this bump depth slider actually works. What a concept. Oh my God. Now the slider works. Thanks, Maya. Why can't you be more like Max? Why can't you be like more like your competition? Why can't you be more like Houdini? Why? I'm gonna stop now. Anyway. So yeah, you can use a black and white bump, I guess. I don't advise it, but I guess you can. The advantage is that the slider works again. So that's nice. Yay, and I can invert it too, so that's cool. Look, if I go the other way and invert my bump, then I've just basically inverted the bump to go the opposite direction. Not that you could tell, but trust me, that's what I just did. Another thing, right? Tiling, we've talked about this before. So if you want this bumpiness to tile more along the surface, we can go into the 2D texture placement node. You can either get to that in your hypershade, which is probably the easiest way. And that's this guy over here, this node here. There it is. Place 2D texture node. Why is that advantageous? Why do we want to use it? What's it for? Because we have the repeat UV function. And so if I repeat 2 and 2, and don't forget, if you do it in one direction, you should probably do it in both directions. And if you do it for your bump, you should probably do it for your color. So if you happen to have a color map plugged in, then you should do it for both. And now we can hit stop and play, and we can see that now our bump has been tiled twice. So I get twice the bumpiness. I mean, twice the noise. High frequency noise here. More like static. At some point, if you tile it enough, it just becomes kind of noise to the human eye. But it really depends on how close your camera is to the object, if that makes any sense. So if your camera is way up close and you can see this bump very clearly, then yeah, you should worry about this stuff. If the camera is fairly far away, it's just a question of how small the object is and how far away the camera is. Because if, again, the camera is very far away and the object is very small, then you don't really need to spend so much time worrying about your normal mapping. I mean, your bump mapping. I mean, pick your poison. But I'm going to tell you that normal mapping is better. Always. No matter what. Okay? Where am I with time? Oh, I got 10 minutes. Who's got questions? God, guys, so quiet all the time. Speak up. Say something. I have to check the pop-out window. Are we going to do that? Why is the link isn't even working? Why?
I think we're good.
Why is the
Okay. Why? My pop-out's not working anymore? My Twitch link is broken or something? I'm flailing right now. Do I have to actually copy and paste this to make it work? Is that what's going on? Yeah. Welcome to the chat room where no one is chatting. Awesome. Great. Anyway. All right. I still have 10 minutes though. What do you guys want me to do here? You want me to do another demonstration with normal mapping? Yes, no? You want to do wood table, stone wall, more with carpet? Does this look fluffy to anybody? Am I selling you guys on my velvet? Not really. Probably not. We have been typing. It just starts over when you open it. Oh God, I'm sorry. OBS should have your chat box in it. That's something I need to set up. I'm guilty as charged on that one. I know that OBS, it is possible to have the chat window set up in OBS. But when I switch to OBS, I get Inception. You want to see? Woo! Inception. That's nice. No, that's not nice. It's not fun at all. The reason I have to do it that way is because I have to go with Twitch Inception or OBS Inception because it's the only way these drop-down menus work. Remember from the beginning of class? Otherwise, you guys can't see these. Sorry. I know it's annoying. But I have to use OBS to capture the whole display, and then I get the weird Inception effect, and I know, it's annoying. Okay. Let's adjust the specular roughness a little bit. So here under specular roughness, if I crank up the specular roughness more, I get a more of a satin sheen effect, or I get something that's rougher. And then you can see this should start to look closer to cloth. So I'm of the mind that with velvet and cloth, the light should scatter more across the surface. So if you want something to look more, I repeat, more like cloth, I feel like your specular roughness should be much higher. If you want something to look like plastic or glass, then your specular roughness should be much lower. See, now I'm getting something that's starting to look more like cloth, I think. And so at this point, if it's a black and white bump, which again is inferior to your normal map, but I'm using it, so I guess I can just abuse it. Since I'm using it, I'll abuse it. Crank up my bump really, really stupid high. Way too high. But now you can see the effect that it has here. And I'm sorry, I know you guys are like, stop contradicting yourself. You say one thing and then you say the opposite. I'm like, yeah, well, again, it's back to the pick your poison thing. Normal mapping will always be better. It's an advanced bump map. It creates better results as a whole. I always recommend it. But if you're like, hey man, it's like halfway in the scene, it's like way in the corner of the room, I don't really care that much, then I guess you can use a black and white bump. You have the advantage of then having that slider, and then see, I can really push my bump pretty high and get something that looks pretty good, and from a distance that looks like a bumpy carpet thing, sort of. I don't know. Hopefully that makes sense. I'm running out of time here, so how are you guys feeling about this? Is it making sense to you at all? You're probably thinking it's still not very fluffy. You'd be right. Stonewall would be fun. Okay. Can I do a Stonewall in 10 minutes? Maybe. Might be 5 minutes? God, you guys are going to push me. You're going to push me.
I think it makes a little more sense than it did before.
Okay, good. 5 minutes. Let's see what I can do in 5 minutes. Sure. I'm not going to bevel the wall. Sorry. I really should. 90-degree angles. No. Bevel. No. Fuck your box modeling. Fuck your primitives. Fuck your cursing in class. It's all bad. Right? Bevel. And bevel's bad too because it creates triangles. Oh, breaking the law. I don't have time for this stuff. All right. There's my wall. It's lame. Whatever. Guilty as charged. Go back into... I gotta make this fast. Go back into the hypershade. Make a new AI standard surface. In the AI standard surface now. Again, figure out your specularity. It's a wall. It's probably stone, brick, whatever. It's got a lot of roughness. Crank that roughness way up. Because it's not going to be a shiny wall. If it's a shiny wall, take the roughness way down. Now we got something really, really shiny. It's a stone wall. Of course, it's not shiny. Turn it way up. That makes sense. So keep your specular roughness super high because it's rock. And that's what we're after. Next, I like to add my bump mapping from here. And because I'm a big normal map fanboy, I'm going to switch to tangent space normals. And then feed in my normal map. Where do I have a normal map handy right now? And not on my desktop. Probably in the actual folder where I should be working, maybe. Could be. In the actual maps folder, could be. Yes. Oh, yeah, look at that. There's a normal map here. Okay, yeah, it's going to be wood, guys. I thought I had stone in the... Maybe it's the other class. 1 second. We wanted stone, didn't we? Let's go to section 5 and see if I feel like I did it for them. You can see how organized I am. And stuff is everywhere. It's terrible. Here we go. Stone, maybe? No, we're still back with this weird cloth stuff. Oh, there it is. Stone wall. Knew it. Stone wall. Good. Yes. Normal mapping. Do we have you? Yeah, there it is. Awesome. Kick ass. Let's put it on the wall. I'm not even going to worry about UVs because I don't have time. Out of time. I just want to assign it. Hit the 6 button to see it in the viewport. 6. Oh, wow. It's working. It's working hard. Look at that normal map doing its thing. Awesome. I love normal maps, man. Fan-freaking-tastic. They're the best. Okay. Now in normal maps. Of course, the only bad thing is, like I keep saying, we can't actually use the slider in the bump node. So that's the downfall of using normal maps. So that's kind of a pain. Let's repeat UV for my tiling. 4 and 4. 4 and 4. And then now I have a nice stone wall. Hey, look at that. Cool. My specularity looks good. My normal mapping looks good. Then what can I do now? I can actually move on to, you didn't do your homework. I know you didn't do your homework. You were supposed to get your specularity and normal mapping done for homework. I barely saw anybody do that for homework. Stop the color. Stop the madness. We don't want color. Do we? No, we're at the end of the demo. We're at the end of the class. I guess I'll put color on there. Fine. We only got 3 minutes. What does it look like? I guess I'll figure it out. I guess I'll put color on since we're at the end. You're making me do it. Making me put color on there. I'm not supposed to do this until you're... Well, the normal mapping looks good. The specular mapping looks fine. Force me to put the color on. Fine. So color is diffuse color or albedo, as the cool kids call it these days. There it is. All right. But remember, the tiling has to match. So that means go back to your 2D texture node, click repeat UV 2 and 2, tile those twice, yes, and then lastly make one. Oh my god, the tiling doesn't match! That's what happens when the tiling doesn't match. Holy crap. What happened? I think it was 4 and 4. That's what happened. Dummy. So the tiling has to match. Now it's matching. Now we have something nice. And then, of course, we're out of time, guys. So last render, right? What are we going to do? We're going to do a sky dome? No, sun and sky system. Why not? I don't know. And then your interactive rendering. And, oh, God, let's move the cool interactive renderer here. Can we move it? Can we drag it? Is it just hating me right now? We're hating life? Hating life yet? There's my brick wall. It looks pretty nice. I'll close this completely. 2 minutes, 3 minutes. We're out of time.
Jokes on you, Gray. We always hate.
What? You always what? What did I didn't hear that. Who was trolling me? I heard somebody trolling me. What did you say? Jokes on me? What?
We always hate life.
Oh, you always hate life. Okay. It's not the process you hate. It's just life itself. All right, guys, there's your stone wall. It's got an awesome normal map on it. It's got a very rough specularity, so it's not particularly shiny or anything like that. I mean, if you wanted shiny rocks, it wouldn't be hard to do. You could just go and go to your specular roughness and lower it and make it really, really shiny. And now suddenly we've made like super plasticky metallic rocks. And is that cool? I don't know. Maybe it could be cool. Should we see? I don't know. Let's look really fast. We're out of time, aren't we? I think we're out of time. But I mean, I really want to see it. What does it look like? Oh my God. It looks like some plastically shiny rocks, probably. I would say it would be really super plasticky and weird looking, I would guess. I don't know. Maybe you got shiny rocks. You're like the lucky kid that put your rock in the tumbler, and you got one of those kits, those machines where you can like throw the rock in the machine and it polishes it. I know they exist. They're out there. They're super cool. Look at that. Now I've got some nice specularity down here at the bottom of this rock. Looks really cool. I got shiny rocks. All right, I'm out of time. I hope you enjoyed your stone wall and your blanket. Bye.